Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine for a moment learning the most fundamental wealth-building financial principles. Not from some stern lecturer, in a stuffy classroom,
Right.
but from your friendly neighborhood barber as he's like trimming your hair.
Yeah, it's a great premise.
That's the surprisingly effective idea behind David Chilton's classic, The Wealthy Barber. And today, we're really going to dive deep into the brilliant simplicity and timeless wisdom that's made this book such a cornerstone for personal finance. For decades, really.
It's has held up.
It's not a dry textbook, is it? It's practical, story-driven, showing anyone, and I mean anyone, regardless of income, how to build lasting wealth. But just through a few basic, consistent habits.
And what's truly insightful, I think, is how Chilton uses that storytelling format. It's like a parable, isn't it? To just effortlessly cut through all the financial jargon that usually scares people off.
Totally.
Roy the Barber, he isn't just some charming character. He's genuinely a mentor. For these ordinary young people in the story, and, well, effectively for you listening right now.
He's addressing the exact questions about money we all grapple with, He demystifies the whole thing, makes these potentially complex ideas feel incredibly intuitive.
So our mission today for this deep dive, it's to go beyond just a summary. We want to pull out the most actionable, maybe even surprising bits of wisdom from his teachings, things you can actually use in the real world, bypassing all those overly complex strategies.
Right. So what does this all mean for us? I mean, the book isn't about chasing market trends or high-risk stuff. It's about building wealth the ordinary way.
Yeah, the steady way.
Through a handful of really powerful, yet surprisingly simple ideas. And right at the heart of Roy's whole philosophy, the absolute cornerstone, there's this one golden rule.
Precisely. Roy introduces what he calls the golden rule of personal finance, which is pay yourself first.
Okay.
And this isn't just like a friendly suggestion, it's a mandate. It means automatically setting aside at least 10% of your gross income.
Gross, not net.
Gross. Before you spend a single dime on anything else, you need to think of it not as optional savings, but as a non-negotiable bill.
Like rent or hydro.
Exactly. A bill you absolutely must pay, but you're paying it to your future self. If we, connect this to the bigger picture, it isn't just about putting money aside randomly.
Right.
It's about building that foundational habit. It systematically creates financial security and long-term wealth over time. It basically shifts saving from being an afterthought,
which usually is,
to your number one financial priority.
Okay, that 10% rule sounds great in theory, but let's be honest. For someone maybe just starting out or, facing really high living costs, that 10% can feel, well, almost impossible. Did Roy have any, practical tips or psychological tricks for people struggling even to start that?
Oh, absolutely. He totally got that.
Yeah.
Roy knew habit formation was key, so he'd advise his clients, look, if 10% feels too daunting right now, start smaller, even 1% or 2%. Just get the habit going, Then slowly, gradually increase it over time.
Like exercise.
Exactly like training for a marathon. You don't start with 26 miles day one, right? You start with a walk around the block. The critical part was making it automatic.
Ah, the automation.
Yes, setting up those direct transfers from your paycheck. So the money is moved before you even see it land in your checking account. That makes it psychologically way harder to spend.
Out of sight, out of mind.
He literally say, if you don't see it, you won't miss it. It takes the emotional decision-making right out of saving.
Okay, so you've got that saving habit going. Now, here's where it gets really interesting for me. Because Roy teaches that just chasing a bigger salary isn't the whole picture for building wealth.
Not at all.
In fact, you see plenty of people earning more, but they never seem to actually get ahead, do they? He emphasizes this principle that honestly gets totally overlooked sometimes in our consumer world. Live below your means.
This is absolutely crucial, and man, it's a profound challenge today. Roy consistently shows that real wealth isn't mainly about how much you earn.
Which sounds counterintuitive.
It does, but it's about how much you keep and then how strategically you invest it. Chilton's barber character really highlights that sneaky danger of lifestyle inflation.
Ah, yes, the creeping expenses.
That almost automatic tendency we have to increase spending right alongside or sometimes even faster than any raise we get.
Guilty. You get a raise, you think, ooh, new car, bigger flat.
Exactly. And Roy would challenge that thinking. He'd ask, okay, before you buy that shiny new car or upgrade your home, have you actually calculated how many years of your after-tax work that thing represents?
Oof. That puts it in perspective.
Doesn't it? He'd talk about delaying gratification, or even simple tricks like the 30-day rule for big purchases. If you still genuinely want it after a month's thought, then maybe consider it. It really makes you ask, In this world that's constantly pushing us to consume, to upgrade, with social media showing off these perfect lifestyles and buy now, pay later, just a click away.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
How do you cultivate the budgeting and the discipline that matter way more than just a big paycheck? It's almost like an act of rebellion these days, isn't it? To consciously separate your happiness from just buying more stuff immediately.
A rebellion against impulse.
Ah.
I like that. Okay, so you've mastered living below your means.
Oh, fully.
And now you have this surplus cash. It needs a job, right? It can't just sit there.
Exactly.
So Roy's next piece of wisdom tackles that. Takes us into investing. He advises, invest wisely, not speculatively. He pushes for long-term, consistent investing, focusing on sensible diversification, not trying to get rich quick with crazy bets.
Right, and this is where the magic of compound interest really shines. Roy would explain it so simply. Compound interest is like this quiet engine
Chugging away.
chugging away in the background, letting even small, consistent amounts grow into really significant sums, especially if you start early. He had this great illustration he'd use.
Yeah.
He'd say, imagine starting to save, just say $50 a week from age 20, consistently earning a pretty moderate 7% a year.
Okay, seems doable.
By retirement, you could easily have well over $1.5 million. But, and here's the kicker, if you wait until you're 30 to start that same $50 a week,
10 years later.
you've already potentially missed out on over $700,000 in growth, just because time is your absolute greatest ally here.
Wow, that's huge.
So when Roy talks about investing wisely, he means spreading your risk. Things like mutual funds, those professionally managed baskets of different investments, maybe some individual stocks if you understand them, shares in specific companies, and bonds, which are basically loans to governments or companies.
Got it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Precisely. It's about favoring patience and steady growth over those risky, speculative gambles.
Makes sense. Now, while we're talking about growth, we also got to talk about what stops it cold.
Uh-huh. The roadblocks.
Yeah, and that's debt. Roy is crystal clear about needing to avoid bad debt. He points out that debt, especially the wrong kind, is just one of the biggest, most aggressive barriers to actually building wealth. He specifically warns against consumer debt, high-interest credit cards, unnecessary loans, the stuff that just eats away at your progress super fast.
And this is a nuanced point Roy often had to clarify. He helped his students see that, look, not all debt is necessarily evil.
Okay.
He strongly advises avoiding what he calls bad debt. So yeah, any debt for stuff that loses value or just for consumption. High-interest credit cards are the classic example. They can spiral so fast and basically just steal your future earnings.
Right. Paying interest instead of investing.
Exactly. However, he also acknowledged that certain forms of good debt, maybe like a mortgage on a home, can be a tool for wealth building. If, and it's a big if, it aligns with your long-term goals, you manage it responsibly, and the asset itself generally appreciates over time.
So it's about being strategic.
Totally. Understanding the purpose and the cost of each type of debt and realizing that some debt just completely derails you. It diverts money away from that crucial pay yourself first principle.
Okay, so we're saving, we're investing wisely, avoiding bad debt. What's next in Roy's plan?
Protection.
Protection. Moving beyond just accumulation, Roy also hammers home how important it is to protect everything you've built. He calls it protect yourself and your family.
Makes sense.
This isn't just about making money. It's about building like a solid financial fortress around your life, the people you care about.
Right, a safety net.
He gets really specific. Having the right insurance is key. Life insurance, obviously, to provide for dependents if something happens to you. Health insurance for medical costs. Disability insurance. That's a big one people forget.
Yeah.
To protect your income if you can't work.
Yeah, disability is hugely underrated.
And beyond insurance, he stresses preparing for emergencies, like having that readily accessible emergency fund set aside.
And these are practical steps, right? They give you immense peace of mind, not just for you, but crucially for the people you care most about. And an often overlooked part of this, but absolutely critical, is estate planning.
Right, the uncomfortable stuff, wills and things.
Exactly. Roy knew it wasn't fun to talk about, but having a clear plan for your assets after you're gone is vital. This means having a will, a legal document saying how your assets get distributed.
So it goes where you want it to.
Yes, and also designating beneficiaries. Naming the specific people or charities who get assets directly from things like life insurance or retirement accounts, this often lets those funds skip the whole lengthy, potentially costly probate
Oh,
process.
that's smart.
These steps just make sure your loved ones are financially secure, your wishes are followed, and you prevent a lot of unnecessary complications and stress during what's already a really tough time.
Yeah, makes total sense. And speaking of protecting the future, Roy emphasizes it's never, ever too early to think about life after work.
Retirement, yeah.
His advice is emphatic. Plan for retirement early. He really highlights the incredible advantage you get by starting as soon as humanly possible, even if you can only put away small amounts at first.
And this ties back so powerfully to that compound interest principle we talked about. And consistency.
It all connects.
It really does. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow exponentially. You're leveraging that magic of compounding to its absolute fullest. Chilton's Roy makes it super clear. Just relying on government pensions or maybe your company plan. That's a risky and often not enough strategy today.
Things have changed.
They really have. Building your own solid nest egg, even with what seem like small, consistent investments over many, many years, is absolutely essential. Start early, you face less pressure later, and your retirement fund just becomes much more secure, much more robust. It's really about taking personal ownership of your future financial independence.
Okay, so after absorbing all these principles,
Yeah.
pay yourself first, live below your means, invest wisely, avoid bad debt, protect your family, plan for retirement. What's truly insightful about Roy's whole framework is how simple it actually is when you boil it down.
Right?
Just a few basic proven rules. It's that simplicity over complexity idea again. Financial success doesn't seem to require advanced degrees or insider knowledge or crazy strategy.
Of chasing the next big thing. No. And this raises, I think, maybe Chilton's most profound point through Roy the Barber. He makes it unequivocally clear. Most people fail financially, not because they lack knowledge.
You know what to do, kind of.
They basically know. They fail because they lack action. The principles are simple enough for almost anyone to grasp, but consistently applying them, especially when life throws temptations and challenges at you, that takes discipline, commitment.
The doing is the hard part.
Exactly. So the question for you listening right now is, are you maybe not achieving your financial goals because you genuinely don't know what to do, or is it because you just haven't started doing it yet? Roy often told his clients, the hardest part is just beginning.
So what does all this really mean for you trying to navigate your finances today? This deep dive into the Wealthy Barber, I think it reminds us that anyone, truly anyone, can achieve significant wealth just by committing to these consistent foundational habits. It's about treating savings not like an optional extra, but like a critical bill you must pay
Yeah.
to yourself. It's about prioritizing discipline and conscious choice over just chasing a bigger paycheck, thinking long-term with your investments, diligently protecting your future.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's about getting that financial intelligence isn't really about your income level. It's far more about your unwavering discipline and having clear priorities.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, the really profound lesson here, it goes beyond just money, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels bigger.
It's about the incredible and often underestimated impact of those daily disciplined choices on your entire future. So maybe think about this. What's the one small, consistent financial habit you could realistically start today that Roy the Barber, with all his timeless wisdom, would definitely applaud? What would that first step be for you?
That's a truly powerful question to leave folks with, because those simple, consistent steps, well, as Roy showed so clearly, they really are the undeniable path to lasting financial security and ultimately a life lived more on your own terms.